I, I still don't know why it started that way. What's up, y'all? Let's make y'all join this party down here. Hold on. Technical difficulties. I've been full of them today. I'm sure I'm going to get banned for the music, so hold on. I really wanted to listen to the Scream. None Thumb Addicts. In your face. Here live in the shop. Danger X podcast is going to be joining us real quick. What's up? Service sucks. I got thunderstorms. Well, really, I ain't got nothing rolling through. But, waiting on it to add Danger X. Says he's watching, trying to add him. Yep. Big chillin'. Waiting on him to add Danger X in. I see you there, bud. We're trying. We are trying. Oh, joining. I think I have you. Hello.
Are we here?
I can hear you now, bud.
Can you see me?
No, I still can't see you. I don't know why it does this. I've tried. I've tried it a couple different times too, even like away from the shop, and it does this every time.
Let me try something here. You still hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right then, I guess.
I like pretending like I can see you, and then we'll just roll with it that way. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. What are you doing, buddy? Kind of waiting on people to jump on here.
Yeah. Let me. God dang it! Hold on here. Let me back out and try to join you again.
We tried again. I should let that song play, and it's a banger. I think I'm gonna go back on here and start it again. Oh, see. Hold on. Let me try to add you. Oh, now it says you're not even on there. That's dumb. I even turned the music off just in case they were like censoring me because they don't like me. See, now I don't even want us to talk. I've got great service. It's a cloudy day. I mean, it's doing stuff out there. It's not bad. I'm in the whole other end of the shop. See? Oh, I see you again. Bam. Bam. Listen, fat fingers. Now it might let us. I still hear your beautiful voice. I just can't see your pretty face. No, can't even hear you anymore.
There we go.
I hear you now.
I got two screens on the watching it on my iPad.
Yeah. See, and I almost went and jacked Amy's phone so I could do that.
I can't see you on my phone, but I can see you on my other screen I'm watching. So
Right. That's why I was like, I almost stole Amy's phone so I could do this, just so I could watch myself and you,
for sure.
because you're just a black screen. Man, it's a definitely Wednesday. It's a fine Wednesday from what it has been here in Central Oklahoma.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's been raining here. I think we probably got about an inch of rain today.
Oh yeah.
Fortunate. I was going to go practice since my truck is out of commission. So, but oh well. I don't want to go right in the mud again.
I think I still would have went and practiced. It's just
I just got them pretty much cleaned up.
lost time, Bubba.
Yeah.
I spent last weekend working on that one because
Yeah.
his throttle, dude. I went to load it on the trailer on Sunday when we went to leave, and it was stuck. Like I pushed it and it stuck right there where I pushed it to. I was like, uh-oh. So
no.
yeah, I went and helped Daniel on Saturday, and it hung there with cable lube running down it all day Saturday, and then I got home Saturday evening and I shoved the straw down in it and I blasted some gnarly looking stuff out of that cable. So yeah,
Oh man.
I went and lubed everything, popped out the thumb throttle and re-greased and all that stuff.
There you go.
Went ahead and gave it a healthy coat, of like, let's keep water and sand out of here as long as we can. And then I had to go, I thought I had some gasket makers, so I went and bought some of that gray RTV gasket stuff so I could put it on the thumb throttle housing because there was no gasket.
Oh,
So,
like the lid?
yeah, for the top of it, yeah. So whatever. I was like, little RTV, it don't have to be nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Just enough
That's
to
weird.
seal it.
That's weird that it didn't have like a little gasket in there.
Oh, I'm sure it has a gasket, but
They had one at one point.
yeah, man. It looked like it had gasket sealing on there as well at one point. So,
Yeah.
man, that's what we did. We just put it back on there like that. It's got he took an impact to the tire during practice that put a hole in the tire. So now I got to take it to the tire. I got to take the tire off and fix that. Or take it to the tire shop.
Sidewall or the tread?
Right down the center, right next to the tread lug in the center.
Okay, that's possibly fixable. So
yeah, shoot, I took mine. I poked a hole in mine at Saskatchewan, and Matt Fulbright gave me some plugs, and they weren't the best, but they were all right. I crammed something like that. I think it was last year. I crammed like 3 or 4 in the sidewall, and then that made me through the race. And then I got home and I took it to a tire shop here in town, and I was like, "Sorry, bud." I said, "But I can get over this thing just so I get through a race." And he's like, "What kind of racing?" I said, "Off-road racing." I said, "Don't worry about you fixing it, and if something happens, me coming back on you." I said, "What I do, this tire probably won't make it anyway, so we're just trying to plug it so I can make it as long as I can to get 2 new tires instead of just having to waste money on, these tires are pretty freaking new, dude."
Yeah.
So that's when I come up with those foam. That's when I come up with those foam mats that you stand on to cut down and fill my tires with. Man, that's the best thing I ever did.
See, I've had the idea of using those for a while. But my idea was to glue them in the layer, like a stack of them, and then cut out the circle shape like a tire spline and shove it in there.
Right.
But
I could see that.
That's a lot of. I feel like it'd take more. I don't know. It's more dense.
The only thing I've noticed about how I did it is I didn't circular cut mine to where it formed the tire.
Yeah.
I kind of pyramid cut them. You know, one's a little bit less than the other. They're taper cut. But if I put like 10 pounds of air in that tire, you can hear them move in there.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really. I don't ever run that much air.
Yeah.
I run like 3 pounds most of the time. I run 3 to 5 most of the time in my front tires.
Yeah. The deals I use I think they're working pretty good. So
Yeah, you got those thick noodles, huh?
yeah, they're just like short. They're called water boosters,
Yeah,
but they're thick and perfect size. I
right.
had to cut them a little, but I like
Yeah,
them. They're working pretty
I
good.
was
They're pretty
talking
old.
to, I think it's Rick Manning about that because he was asking, he said something. I was like, man, this is what I did, and it worked
Yeah,
great.
yeah, for sure.
I'm
I
like,
got
man,
those things from Dollar Tree.
right? Yeah, I mean, anything cheap that we can make work. But yeah, once I did that, I was like, man, I'm definitely going to do that to rear tires.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. I got
perfect.
my tires have those inflatable headstorm balls in them, kind of like fake tire balls, but
The knockoff tire balls.
yeah, yeah.
Somebody, Eric, Matt, somebody, I think was telling me that they bought somebody I remember saying they bought the Amazon tire balls or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I mean, they were working for them. I can't remember who it was that told me that.
Are those like the clear ones?
I think so.
Uh,
I would only imagine. I didn't ask what they looked like and all that, how tough they were, but they said they were doing is fine. Fine. Maybe it was Ryan Smith. I don't know.
I mean, as long as they help, it's whatever.
If they're doing their job, I mean, that's what it's about. I just don't know. The tire splines seem really freaking expensive.
They're so expensive. Tire blocks, tire spines, tire balls. The spines and the blocks are super expensive.
Oh yeah. Really, I would take the splines or the blocks.
The balls are the cheapest, but man, that's a lot of fucking work too. Like getting them all aired up in there and stuff.
Yeah, making sure, and having to pull them out, re-grease them, and make sure they ain't popped. And
Yep.
I mean, I guess I'm supposed to do that with my phone, but I didn't grease it. I didn't grease any of that when I put it in.
Yeah, I didn't either. It'll be fine.
I put a little bit of dish soap on it whenever I was trying to get everything shoved back together.
Yeah, I use the spray bottle with water and dish soap. It'll be good.
Yeah. Little bit of lube, just a slipper on there, But yeah, it's like those are fun. So I had fun wrestling that foam into the tire.
Mm-hmm.
I was cussing. I went and got some really, really long bolts and was pulling that ring down onto it, and then finally got my bolts that I use into it. I was like, this is the stupidest thing in the world. And once it was together, I was like, this is perfect. Like I could stand on the tire and it didn't even budge with me standing on it. And I was like, yep. So that's worth it. I'm going to go ahead and do the other tire now.
Yeah, mine had a little give, kind of like a low tire, so it wasn't solid. So I think that's a good place to be with that.
Yeah, I mean, anything's better than running straight on the rim.
Yeah, I found that out this week. Their last race on the Wolverine. Me and Justin
Hey, bro.
Lee. Huh?
Hey, bro. That was a solid call there. Solid judgment call.
It was slow, but I didn't, do so well in the overalls. But I guess I didn't need to. I mean, that's the second worry now.
I'm pretty.
I didn't
sure,
have to.
I'm pretty sure you're still 5th overall.
5th, yeah, 5th.
I think the overall right now is Clifton, Brady, Ryder, Ryder, Justin, then you.
Yeah, Justin snuck in there. that race got him up in there.
Yeah, so you're 5th or you're 5th or 6th, something like that.
I'm 5th, I think.
Yeah, that's 2 steps up from that number 7 you got on in front of your bike.
And yeah, I saved having to get my quad all muddy and dirty. torn up.
Oh, yeah. No. Saved
I just
clutches.
threw
You saved clutches. You saved a motor. You saved a lot
for
of
sure.
stuff.
For sure. Tires. those those chicken heads sticking up out of the roots were getting gnarly. That's what did. I had a hole in the side on the inside of one of the Wolverine tires, like that big.
Oh, yeah.
The
Them
other
old
one,
root knots that get all tore off. Yeah.
or the little saplings that they cut down to the ground.
Yeah.
Even
That
those
those two. Those get sharp fast.
those were popping up quick,
Well,
and I think I remember hitting one and feeling the tire. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that just went flat. And then
whoops.
I wasn't sure, but I was just going, and I came. I let a couple people pass because I just cruised. I helped a couple people get unstuck, and I was just going cruising, and then I came up on Kylie Smith. She like got crooked, hit a tree, and was like stuck in some mud ruts on like a turn trying to. So I got off and helped pulled it back so she could get on. And that's when Justin rolled up behind me. I was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna have a Wolverine battle. This is gonna be awesome." We're going, and while going up a hill, I get around him, and then like we're going, and I just can't get any drive out of the back, and I'm like, what the heck? I look back, and both rear tires are flat. I'm like, oh, so I let him go, and then his evidently went flat right after. And
Yeah.
I just cruised after that. I didn't want to damage my rims too because they're aluminum and you can't really bend them back
Did you
too much without.
see his rims?
Oh my god, mangled.
Bro, that inner bead on that tire, you can use that.
Yeah,
You might as well just get rid of the tire, and then if you need to till the garden, there you go.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
that's what that is.
I had a couple little bent spots on the inner beads, but I just put new tires on them today, and they hold. I smacked them back with the rubber mallet pretty good. They're fine. They'll be okay.
Hey man, as long as they hold air, who cares?
Yeah, I wasn't worried about them being perfectly circle, just as long as the bead holds air.
Yeah, for sure. Like whatever. It don't look like the axle or the wheel hub or the wheel is bent whenever it rolls. It's not doing this motion. Who cares?
Yeah,
Even if it does it a little bit, who cares? We ride them on dirt.
right.
I rode a
Yeah,
bent I rode a bent axle on my KFX 400 for like three or four races before I got one, and it was rough. It wasn't super bent, but it was bent. Like, man, I don't think I can race, and that's what my buddy said. He's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that we ride on the dirt anyway, so it's gonna be rough no matter what. And I was like, you got a point. Just
I got old Justin or Brandon Brown to come up and do a race up in Kansas with me one time, scramble. It's kind of muddy,
yeah.
and he ended up hitting like a T-post or something and bent his axle out by the wheel, and it's just wonky, just going around.
Up. Hey man,
Man,
drove this far, I'm gonna ride
it. Yeah,
that's always my thought. I drove this far, I'm gonna ride it.
for sure. Might as well. It's alright. It's broken.
Right. I ride like I'm rich. You know what I mean? Like as soon as as soon as I think something's breaking, I'm like, whatever. We'll take care of that when this is over with.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
try to like. I'm like always paranoid. Try to be careful and everything, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna send it. If it breaks, it breaks.
I ask myself. Go ahead.
Like the first part of the race, I'm always trying to baby, and I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I always halfway through, I always talk myself into just going with it.
Right. See, that's part of my problem is I try to get that sprint lap in early, um, and then I try to pace to see, how it's breaking down to see how my riding has to change for the last lap or two. You know what I mean? To keep that speed.
Yeah.
Because like I run that first lap, because I try to hit one good practice lap to kind of know what my pace would be, but it always changes in a crowd, When there's 3 and 4 of us going together, it's kind of hard to say I'm going to run this pace going into the woods. But I just try to get that one sprint lap in there in practice. As long as they're allowing practice, I'm going to try to get it in. and I kind of know what I can do and what I shouldn't do because I do ride over my head a lot. I get that pointed out by a bunch of y'all. But I mean, as Hayden Deegan would do, let's send it. You know, you got
that feller.
to give all of it. How do you feel about that pass?
It wasn't the pass. It's like.
Are you mad because it was on a teammate?
In the vacuum, it's like whatever. It's a douche. Like they're racing for the championship, so like I can't say I wouldn't do something.
Well,
I mean, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't atrocious and super dirty. It was pretty greasy,
right.
but the fact that it was on a teammate, the fact that he did it in practice was uncalled for.
In practice?
Qualifying, yeah, practice. Yeah, he did that same exact thing, same corner, took him out in that same corner in practice.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, same. And then it comes to that point. It's like, come on, Davies. Like this happened to you early. Yeah. Why would you ever trust Deegan in the last corner? You know.
See, and I'm not mad at it 100%. I'm not mad at it at all. Like as soon as he did it, I was like, no, and I was like, oh my god, he did it.
Man,
and I was like, cause
it was more the fact that he went over the berm and got stuck and fell and lost so much. That's what sucks the most about it.
Listen, bro, that was his fault. That was Davey, because like I watched a clip. I watched a clip off of Title 24 where Villapoto and Ricky were talking about it, and Villapoto said it best. He's like, man, all Davies had to do was check the brake and stand the bike up, and he would have avoided all of it. You know what I mean?
Take it inside.
Or don't leave that door wide open. I mean that, dude. You could have drove the big rig through that hole.
I know.
You know. So. And like the way Deegan entered that turn, knowing that he was going to use Davies if he was still sitting there, was smart because he hit him at a good angle to where it wasn't a hard impact. There was no hard blow. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why Davies went up the berm.
Yeah, he didn't T-bone him or take out his front wheel.
Dude, he hit him at a good angle where he was in the race line trying to make a race pass. And, dude, if that was Justin Barsha or, Eli Tomac or Jason Anderson that did that, everybody else would be like, man, that's just what they do to get the win or, make the pass.
Do you like the podium afterwards? Well, if you don't like it, you can suck it.
That was a little over the top. That was a little over the top, I don't think he should have said all that, but he does – he does say a lot of things that people don't like, and I like that.
I feel like it's a lot of Brian coming out.
Listen, bro, I don't think Brian lives vicariously through his kid, but I think his kid is just a piece of Brian's ego. You know what I mean?
I think it's a little both.
Well, I mean, listen, like, I was watching Hayden Deegan interviews from, get away from me, mosquito. I was watching Hayden Deegan interviews from when he was like 6 years old. I mean, it's still kind of the same. It's still kind of the same. Like, he holds that cockiness, which, I mean, man, if you're gonna talk it, you might as well be it. So
yeah.
I don't know. I like the pass. I knew it was coming as soon as I seen Davies ride high into that berm, and I was like, "Oh, here it comes." Because if you look at everything, Deegan was gaining on him the last 8 laps of the race.
David was tired. He got so tired.
Yeah, he got winded early, and Deegan capitalized on a rookie getting winded. Which, hey, man, that's perfect.
Yeah,
So let the young pup go out there and run fast and hard as he can. It just showed him what he needs to work on. I said it the other day. I didn't get to watch it all until the next day.
Yeah.
After we got home, but I said it the other day after I watched it. I said Davies will never lose on a 250 again.
Nope. He's gonna try not to. He's gonna try a lot fucking harder.
He's gonna win next weekend.
Maybe
he'll win next. this weekend. I see it happening. Deegan's going to step to 450 outdoor motocross.
Yeah, I think he'll do 250 again next year in the Supercross.
You think Deegan will run 250 again?
Yeah.
Because he gets 1 year to defend his title, so.
Yeah. He'll do it. He'll do 250 again.
Right. Man, I don't see him beating Davies again. I think he just made Davies mad. If he does beat Davies, it's going to be a really hard. It's going to be a really hard race.
Where are you placing in our fantasy? I can't remember where you're at.
At the bottom. I got on this last race, I got every single one of them right except for the wild card. Cody says he's going straight to 450s. I agree with Cody. I think after this 250 season, I think he goes to 450 Pro Motocross.
He should. He should, but whether he will or not, we'll see.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But Deeks is fast, bro. Have you seen him practicing on that 450? He's
no.
He's quick. Dude is quick. So I don't know. I don't think he's quite ready to go to 450s, but I think he should because he is fast. And I don't think the 250s is enough of a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
think he needs to step up.
Struggle a little this year, but
I don't think it was more of a struggle. I think it was more calculated. You know what I mean? Yeah, he struggled in the first couple rounds, that's for sure. You know, the first two the first round he didn't do hot at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to beat Jet Lawrence, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
I wasn't doing too bad. I got up to like second, and then
Cody was whooping all of us.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I was so happy I caught up. I was like 30 points behind him or something, and then a couple of races, like we were at a couple of races, and I forgot they had the daytime race, like the middle of the day one. I forgot to do my picks.
I think
and then
forgot that one.
Yeah, and then the last one because it was like I was dealing with getting a freaking RV up out of that muddy.
Oh yeah.
Up that muddy road and all that junk, and I just wasn't anything I thought about.
Yeah. Yes, Cody. Now you're getting hammered. I'm catching up, y'all. I scored 102 points, I think, on that last one.
I scored 72, and I'm still in 10th.
You want to know how I picked it?
Down in 10th.
I picked it 100% at random, except for I remember this motion here. You know, him carrying baby Chase. I remembered that motion, so I was like, ain't no way Cooper Webb's going to win in Denver. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. He made Chase Sexton mad. Like, Chase Sexton is calm, cool, and collected. You leave him alone.
Until he tucks it, but yeah.
Yeah, you just let him think he's the best, and he's going to take himself out.
I think Chase will win this weekend.
I do too. I think Chase will pull it off. I think Chase will end up. Well, Coop will have to be 6th or worse for Chase Sexton to win. Yeah,
there's no way.
No, Cooper Webb's smart. He's going to let Chase Sexton win and get second.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If he's smart, or let Plessinger get second so he don't get taken out by his teammate.
Not that Plessinger would, but
you wouldn't think. So what do you think about rumors that Plessinger or Sexton is going to Ducati?
Sounds like, if anyone's going to do it, it's Sexton because he is finicky, about the bikes. He complained. That's why he left Honda. He was bitching about the Honda, whining about it. I liked Chase Sexton on the Honda. I liked him. Yeah. And then he complained about it, whined about it. Oh, it's the bike. It's the bike. It's not the bike, dude. Stop. You look at Jet and Hunter whooping ass on that thing.
They do.
And then he went to KTM, and now he's complaining about that.
Yeah, never can get the bike completely set up how he likes it. So
Like,
I don't know. Going to Ducati wouldn't be a good move for him because they don't know. They don't have any data. He don't.
yeah, that's gonna be
You know,
rough.
uh, Deegan's going. Deegan will be on a Ducati next year, from what I hear.
You think? You don't think Star's gonna hold on to him?
I don't think so. I don't know. I've heard some rumors that he's going to Ducati.
Star
So
Star seems right up the Dean's freaking alley, dude. Those star guys.
dude, have you heard that they signed Jeremy Martin on for a 3-race deal for pro motocross?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, bro. Seeing Jeremy Martin back in the running again would be pretty gangster.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, he said he was like,
So,
I'm retiring from racing dirt bikes, and then not even a year later, he's back.
that's what Phil Nicoletti said he was retiring. Now he's gonna go up and race the Canada Supercross Series again.
Right. Well, they do.
Like, come on.
They do that. They say that stuff, and then they go to Australia, or they go
Right.
to Canada, or they go to Mexico or Brazil or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, dude, just retire. But like Villapoto, they kicked him out of the AMA, kicked him out. They banned him, so he went to Europe. So
Yeah.
that's you can't pee hot on a drug test, I guess, multiple times.
Right.
I ain't mad at the dude.
No, he's hilarious. I didn't like him when he raced, but he's hilarious now.
Dude, I loved Villapoto when he raced.
Yeah. I think he's hilarious now.
Oh yeah, he is funny. I'm one of those that if you play a professional sport, I believe you should be able to do or take any drugs, performance enhancing or whatever that you want. You do it. You do you, boo boo. I want to see NFL blitz style football. Um, the equivalent of basketball, hockey, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that stuff would be cool. But
Waiting for this race, this Supercross, the Salt Lake, the finale to get over with.
Yeah.
I got a guy coming on. He said he just wants to wait for this last race till the Supercross season to be over. But I'm going to have him on the podcast. I'm going to have you interview me with him. He races. He's in. I think he's made almost all the mains this year. He's a privateer, but he's a bad dude. I'm pretty sure he's made most of the mains this year.
yeah,
So
I have to look into
pretty
that
cool.
and see because I know I've been watching him too, and he's done pretty decent.
A little.
I think he was in the LCQ championships as well, or something like that.
Yep, the Pulp MX LCQ challenge.
Yeah, something like that. Like they have an LCQ championships, and like I watched that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get to watch it because they don't air it, but like they were showing it on
YouTube.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty legit how they do it.
Yeah, it's live on YouTube. They had all the prop bets and stuff. It's fun. It's so fun to watch.
Nice.
Best
Nice.
air wheelie, just all the goofy stuff. Slowest lap.
Slowest lap. Nice. I'd probably win that one. I'm pretty slow.
Last year, you had the last two guys just like barely creeping, like battling each other, seeing who could basically not move.
Right.
It's fucking crazy. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, dude. That was so. Do you watch any of the GNCC that just happened?
Yeah.
Dude, what about that mud fest?
Man.
Walker Fowler DNFs, bro.
Well, he never said what happened. He did.
Yes, he did. So what happened is they come up to somebody tangled up in a tree. Something like that. Once somebody in front of him got wrapped up in a tree, tangled up in a tree. He checked up, and then somebody behind him smashed him in the rear and broke the connector to his ECU.
Oh, okay. So I never heard him say exactly what happened, but
Numbthumatics is on it, bro.
there you go.
Because as soon as y'all see Fowler DNF'd. I said, shut up, I ain't watched nothing. So I started watching to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I caught on it, is that Fowler DNF'd because of the ECU connector got broken, which can't fix that in the field, yo.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that what a crap way. Hunter Hart takes the dub. That's pretty cool. Rhodey's like uber excited that Hunter Hart's coming to Fuel Camp and that he's going to learn from Hunter Hart.
Is he for sure coming again this year?
Yeah, that's what Matt's told me, and
cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. Coming fresh off of a dub too.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, because I don't remember how long it is until their next race.
They're at break, right?
No, they race snowshoe before they go to break, and they were still 7 weeks in snowshoe.
I forgot the schedule. I'm going to be honest with you. I looked at it, and I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah, me neither. Because they're just at Powerline Park.
Yeah.
But I can't remember where they were going after this one. But yeah, that's a get out of here, mosquito. That was a pretty good race, dude. It was a legit mud fest. My boy Josh Merritt pulling off the Holy.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty solid start. Him and Bryson Neal hooked up, and I don't know, B. Neal just couldn't seem to get it done better than second place.
Yeah.
I know him and Merritt swapped places, and then Hunter Hart made a charge.
Yeah,
said
he got around him on a hill climb. He ran into the back of a amateur guy that got stuck going up the hill.
Yeah.
And he rolled back down it, and Hart went up the side, got traction, and that's where he got around him.
Yeah. Hunter Hart was on a tear there in that second lap, though.
He needed it.
Yeah, he needed that win so bad. Dude is all the way down at like 6th or so in points, 7th in points.
Yeah.
He
was rocking number 3 at one point. Now what number is he now? 7?
No, he's rocking number 4. No,
4.
4. Merritt's 4.
Yeah, no.
He's rocking 5 or 6, and I think he's 7th or 8th now.
Yeah.
He's worse overall than he finished last year right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe hopefully his season's turning around. He's a better rider than that.
He's had horrible luck.
Man, he hasn't had the best run this season, that's for sure. Like Fowler, Fowler seemed to have it together. Neal seemed to have it together, but Hart just hasn't. I was hoping to see more. I was hoping to see more out of Abney and maybe more out of Ronnie Rush. The younger crowd. I was hoping to see a little more out of them this season, but I don't think Ronnie Rush. I don't think has raced the first few or so with injury, and Abney just hadn't had the run that he's been looking for. I think he placed at the second round. I think he got on the podium the second round. I think he was leading that race for a little while. As Hoosier and Mason Dixon before Fuel Camp. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hoosier.
The Hoosier will be a good one.
Yeah, that's at Indiana.
Yeah, we're just going to have to convince the wives one time that we're just going to take a dude's trip, and we're going to have to run up there in the bus.
Yeah. I've been there for motocross, but I've never been there for GNCC.
I would like to race.
You know where Thunder Valley is in Colorado?
Yeah.
They have a Colorado series that runs a cross-country race there at Thunder Valley. I really want to go there.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a blast to go race something up there. I was trying to take my YFZ up to South Fork, Colorado on a family vacation, and my dad was like, no. I said, why, dude? There's a whole bunch of riding trails. He's like, it's a mountain, and no.
Probably not the best thing to take up there.
Bro, I go anywhere.
It'll be fun,
Like,
but
hey,
I mean,
this summer trip that we're trying to plan, dude. I'm telling you, like when we go free riding, I like to go free riding.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't think you can make that. Hold this. Hold this.
For sure.
I'll do that.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, we'll have to figure that out for sure. I've been spreading the word trying to figure out where we're going.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't think we're gonna get Conrad to camp this year and everything. So he's
Right.
kind of like, so I'm kind of something cool for him. Get all the boys together and do a little bit of riding.
Oh heck yeah. You know, for a good weekend or so, I think that'd be a good time.
Sure. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the weekend after fuel camp, but it looks like we're going to Dana Tech this round. So we
Yeah.
may still have that weekend after fuel camp to maybe go ride somewhere. Or, man, there's a 4 day weekend in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I just know any holiday weekend we go on, there's going to be crowds at public riding areas.
Yeah. Which, I mean, whatever. It depends where we go. I don't know. I don't know any of the places there in Oklahoma too much, but like I'm saying, I'm trying to talk y'all into coming here.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm still not against that. Because
Hosting y'all. I mean,
you say you got a river close to your house, right?
I can look out my window. I'm in the RV slash podcast studio doing this because it's quieter out here. But I can look out my RV window and see the dike on the river.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, yeah, it's right on the other side of a field, and they got pretty fun trails in there. Like the Sugar Creek trails were like these trails are little gnarly, or not gnarly, but little more technical than that. So I mean,
Right,
they're not steep, but they're harder than the Sugar Creek trails.
right. Yeah, see, I didn't even ride the Sugar Creek trails besides the kids' track. I was being a little baby with my ribs.
It was flowing. I liked it.
Yeah.
Other than the mud.
Well, I'm sure it's really going to flow after this weekend.
It's never mind. um,
Getting a little wore out, is she?
yeah, hot dog down a hallway is all I can think of. It's good. It was
Hey, the
man.
the lines are broke in.
If they can get them filled, I mean, they can say they can go over 'em with the skid steer, but once they're like the ruts are dug in, they're just gonna come right back out like quick.
Yeah,
They're
Josh has a good point. He said the public riding is overwhelmed with side by sides and drunks these days.
that don't you're on my soapbox with that, man. You're gonna get me ranting about the side by sides and drunks.
Man, like so we had the Canadian River north of Amarillo.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun to go ride at. Like you had some really solid rock climbing, some fun trails, some sand rollers, a lot of I call them S curves, the switchbacks. You know,
Yeah.
you had a half mile of sand switchbacks, and then on the other side of the little creek, you had a half mile of red clay switchbacks. So you can ride deep sand one way and then ride clay the other way. But the problem is it was ride wherever you want,
Yeah.
and you had to watch out for the dummies and razors coming over the top of them berms and just smashing into you.
That's I like the trails here. Razors can't fit in them because of the overhangs and stuff like that.
Oh, right on. See, like Appalachian Bay, it has it has bars that you have to go through.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it has bars that you have to go through, and it's a lot of fun riding. I mean, it's not a big riding area, but it's got a lot of fun riding in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed going there with Brody and Brady and Eric and Matt and them. It was a blast. If my dreams come true, I'll have a couple 100-acre quads and dirt bikes only.
Heck yeah.
Listen,
Yeah. See the trail I ride and practice on. It's depending on if you go on the second half where razors have been down and kind of rutted it out, but they don't really ride on it too much. I mean, it can be like a 9 mile trail, and I can go back and forth on it, So
Right.
7 to 9 miles. It's a good trail, and then there's all the area around it, and it's got dirt, roots, hills, sand. So it's really good for practicing. That's why I'm pretty good in the sand because there's a lot of river sand
Right.
and stuff.
Right. That's why the sand don't bother me either, because I rode a lot of sand in Amarillo too.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, the only places we had to practice were the river. Like no motocross tracks let quads on them. There wasn't hardly any riding areas.
Yeah.
Like we had the river, so we'd like make our own trails, and then there'd be trails that were starting to get overgrown, and we're going to start taking that one again.
Yeah.
So we would climb the sides of hills. Like we fell on dirt bikes one day, and they're like, "You won't be able to follow us," and we're like, "Let's go." We followed them. Dude, we followed them, and we popped out around this rock, and we were like legit on like a 40-foot cliff that was 47 inches wide. Like my tire is hanging the edge of it while we're rounding this cliff.
Yeah.
This is a good time. And then dirt bikers were like, "Y'all are nuts." And me and my buddy were like, "Yup." Of course, we were been drinking a lot of beer back then too, so
Yeah.
I was not scared of nothing.
And man, the side by side and stuff, they're like I'm pretty sure that still counts as like especially since like down here the river it's public land.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's like you can get a DUI off of that, like in Kansas.
Dude, Kansas is rough. Like I halfway don't want to go to Kansas, but it is what it is.
Oh, it's not that bad. Like but they don't do. No one ever gets in trouble. Like the sheriff's department has a side by side. I don't know why. They could go down there on like a Memorial Weekend and mop up, man. They hand out so many DUIs.
Oh yeah,
they would.
sure.
But like, there's this one turn. I heard one weekend. Unfortunately, someone died in a razor. And they like, oh, they hit a tree, whatever. And I knew, like in my head, I was like, I bet it's this one tree on this road, and it sure enough was that tree. But like, they were probably intoxicated, definitely didn't have a helmet, and probably not a seatbelt on.
And probably running wide open down that road.
And yeah, they probably went through, the front and hit the tree with their head,
Yep.
Or the roll bar. Like the roll bar is not going to save you if your head bounces off it and crushes your skull in. You got to wear a helmet in it for that thing too.
Yeah, that's definitely not its design. It's not meant to save your head. It's meant to save your life. You got to save your own head.
Yeah. It's meant so you don't get crushed. But
yeah.
And I watched two of them collide, T-bone each other in an open area. I don't know what they were doing. It's like if they just get in the big open areas down there, they get retarded, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I stick to the trails. I go in the mornings or stay to the trails during the day.
Oh, yeah, like I don't take roadie to public riding areas. Like Dana Tech is where we go because the trails are one direction.
Yeah.
And I'm not worried about anybody T-boning roadie that much there, especially anybody on a razor because they ain't there.
Yeah.
So I like going there. That's where we go ride at when we go ride together. And I never took him anywhere in Amarillo to go ride at. We just had a few acres behind the house. Excuse me.
Yeah, these are pretty good friendly tracks. There's some tough stuff that is good practice for them, but
right.
They can make it up. They're pretty nice.
Oh yeah, we'll wake them up at the butt crack of dawn and go ride until the drunks show up.
Yeah.
That's usually the plan anyway. And that's how I ride anyways. Look, I'd go to the river. I'd get there about 6 in the morning. About the time the sun's coming up, kick my bike out, get it warmed up, eat my breakfast, and off I went.
And they don't usually show up till noon or after,
Noon to 2 is about your window of people showing up. About 2 o'clock, it's getting too crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how at Bay was whenever we went. And we went on a pretty warm weekend, pretty decent weekend. The end of summer break last year.
And here they, like I said, they're not on the trails. They just ride the river bottom. Like the river's really low here because of Colorado being assholes. But so
Right.
they just ride the river bottom mostly, and they ride like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. They'll stop. Everyone will stop and get out and talk for an hour. We'll ride another 15 minutes, get out and talk for another hour. So like they can stay down there and do all that and stay out of everyone else's way.
Oh yeah, no, like they're gonna do that. So I'm just gonna stay over here.
Yep, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, how's the t-shirts going? Are you making t-shirts these days?
Yeah, I'm getting some more designs going. Just released some new designs. Trying to, get enough orders before I start printing them out and stuff again, because I got to order the shirts. The shirts are the things I don't have. So I like to not have too many extras because it's hard to judge sizes. Like they say, I've done all my research on like the most common sizes is, large is the most common, and then medium and extra large. But I'm noticing that extra large is more common nowadays,
Sure.
Large and extra large and 2XLs, and I don't know. It's just hard to judge. So, yeah, I like to just try to have a close estimate on how many shirts I need to get before I start printing them off.
No, for sure. I understand that. Yeah, I still got a few t-shirts if anybody's interested. That he is who made my shirts. They are beautiful. I love
If
this
you
shirt.
need some shirts made, let me know. I'm making shirts now. That's part of my thing. I'm trying to produce merch, and if you want anything a design made, I can custom make you up a sweet design. I graphic design stuff.
Yep.
Like it a lot. It's pretty fun. So yeah, if you want some shirts made, a whole line of them, let me know.
You want your little quad rider and an unthematic shirt for church camp or for Fuel Ministry Camp Pollard?
Yeah,
We can make it
for sure.
happen before that if you let us know now. Oh, God, get out of my face. I got a few purple kid sizes. Holler at me and we'll discuss and we can figure something out, y'all. But yeah, I seen the t-shirts. I seen that you're making some, made some for your boys' autism awareness shirts. Those were pretty slick, pretty slick. Yep. Jamie wanted one of those shirts, by the way.
I have one for him, but I forgot to bring my extras with me.
Yeah, because he was like, I thought Tim had all them shirts with him. I said, well, he's got mine, and he's like, oh, okay, where are they at?
Yeah.
I was like, they're over
here.
To
bring mine.
Yeah,
I have a.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I just wanted that. He's like, I wanted that autism shirt too. That one's pretty cool. And I was like, they are cool. He was like, he didn't have them. I was like, oh, all right.
No, I forgot them. I brought everything else.
Dude, that last race was so nuts. It rained, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained. I think we got like 4 inches of rain while we were there.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
And then it stopped right after the mini race. No,
it didn't stop. Yeah, it stopped at the end of the mini race because it stopped raining right before y'all took off.
Yep. I was like, oh, thank goodness. I was like, kind of like, since it stopped, I was kind of second guessing the Wolverine.
Right.
But the first lap, I was glad I had it. But then the track got fast again in most spots. There were still some really nasty spots. I'm glad I had the 4-wheel drive, so I just didn't have to worry about it. Right. But it ended up working out.
For sure. Yeah, I went as soon as it took off. I was like, man, I'm sorry, fellas. I went and stripped out of all of my wet clothes, and I went and laid in my dry, warm bed in the tent for a little bit and warmed my body back up. And I got dressed just to get enough trash talk to me at the starting line because I wasn't on my two-wheeled machine.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, come on!" And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "I hurt so bad right now." Like
Shape.
I had to yank a handful of kids quads out of the mud first couple races, so I was like, "Man, I'm hurting. I'm good." I said,
That pure.
I don't want to pick this dirt bike up 100 times in the first lap."
A wet rat. Oh, you had the short course. You're in the short course race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was coming down pretty good then.
Yeah. Oh no, short course dirt bikes. I
No,
race after y'all.
Josh Haynes on here said he looked like
Oh yeah.
a wet rat.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. It was rough.
Yeah,
It
watching
was.
them short courses coming off is why I was like, I think I'm gonna do the
Oh yeah.
four wheel drive.
Oh, dude, like I was standing under the ease up watching them come off, and I was like, God, that looks so miserable, so
Man,
miserable. Sabrina
man,
Austin, Sabrina Austin came and pulled right up to the ease up to come and talk to us, and I'm like, oh my God, and she's just sitting there with the biggest smile on her face, and I'm like, girl, you are sopping wet right now.
it's not so bad.
I got a rib separation, Josh. I wrecked that two-wheeled machine there at the Dude Ranch. Took the handlebars to the ribs, and I was recovering fine. I was holding the dresser up, and I had it at full extension, and I had a pop in my ribs, a really loud one. And I have a rib separation. I cried a lot today when I crawled under this house to fix a water leak because it hurt a lot. Like coughing and stuff don't hurt as bad anymore, but like in a crawling position, anytime I got to use my core muscles, no sir, no sir, it's no fun, no bueno. But yeah, sorry Tim, sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
But yeah, no, when you took off on the Wolverine and I was laying in that bed, I was like, damn. I was like, maybe the Wolverine. I told Amy, I was like, we took a gamble and we all discussed, and Tim drove the Wolverine to race in it. It's not raining anymore. The track's going to get really fast.
It was
Tim's not
fast.
on Tim's not on a really fast four-wheeler. And she's like, uh-oh. I was like, yeah, uh-oh.
The first
Uh-oh.
lap, it was nice, but
Right?
man, it got fast. That's why I finished 10th
Yeah.
overall.
Yes, sir, Josh. I will be running short course two-wheeled machines at Danatech.
Man, we gotta get you and Jamie some freaking quads.
I need four wheels so bad. Buy my t-shirts.
Right.
Buy my t-shirts. No, we're looking. We're going to get one soon enough. Hopefully sooner than enough time goes by. I need one today, really, in all honesty. I have room for another one. I can move the dirt bike up. I have plenty of room for another four-wheeler. If the quad gods were wondering, I still have room in here. Hell, I could put a motor in that one, and I still have room to put it in here. But I don't want to put a motor in that one and race it anymore. It's a little old, and it's getting hard to replace stuff on it.
Yeah.
You know, outdated. I see why now. Why I was trying to stockpile parts, but I'm not. I don't have that many parts. And I've been kicking around running long course on the dirt bike at Danatech too, because I know that long course. There's nothing Daniel can put in that long course that's going to scare me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them dirt bikers do some gnarly stuff.
Oh, the big wheels and the suspension, they handle the rough stuff a lot better than the quads, that's for sure.
Listen, I have learned that I can go faster on the dirt bike than I can the quad because I don't have to go over all that rough stuff. But
Yeah.
I honestly will say that I have enjoyed the dirt bike. It is fun. I won't say I won't continue to ride it because I feel like it's going to help me get better. But God dang, do I miss four wheels. God dang. It's just four wheels fill my soul. getting the literal shit beat out of you sometimes is so much fun. Coming off the track and not being able to move for the first 45 minutes and look like we've been eating dirt. That whole first hour of being miserable, saying, why did I do this, is so much fun because we're talking about the stupid stuff we did out there in order to get here. It's so much fun. I love it. Like, it beats most things I've done in life.
Man, I've felt pretty good this year. I don't think I've been too tired coming off the track this year. My fitness is a lot better. It helps that we are still running. We've had cool weather this deep into the season.
Right. That is for sure, dude. I feel like that's fixing to change quickly, but
it's been we've made it farther than last year. I mean, to be fair, though, we did have like a 6-week gap there because of storms and stuff last year.
yeah.
So it ran pretty deep before break, like into June. But it was a hot May.
Bro, May was hot last year. Me and my office lady were looking that up this morning.
We got this at the beginning of May. We brought this to the first one was in May, the RV, and it was hot.
I think the first one was the Dude Ranch.
No, it was Rocket A. It was our first one with the RV.
Was it?
Round 5, I think. Yeah.
Right on.
And it was like hot as balls. So the fact that we've made it, what is this coming up? 6, right?
Yeah, this coming up 2 more weekends is 6.
Yeah. We've made it this far, and it's been nice. Like, last race was cold.
Yeah, I gotta go work. I'm gonna go work track this weekend.
Oh, cool.
Dude, tell me
I need to
about it.
review myself at that track. That's where my injector started going out, and my starter, my one-way bearing and my starter went out, so I didn't get a good start. I started with what would have been amateur class, 2 back.
Yes.
And my injector was clogged and going out. So
yeah, I was gonna win that race. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was set up to win that race, and I didn't know that Cody Nelson was behind me from the get. I thought he was in front of me, and then I seen the dust trail go to the left, and I'd seen the dust trail go to the right, and I knew the track went to the left, and I was like, oh my God, here we go, full send, baby. And so then I started catching Brody, and then we come out of the check gate, and I was going to catch Brody in that lap. That's second or third lap. Whenever I grabbed a handful of throttle and dumped that clutch and that motor clacked, I was like,
man.
I still cry thinking about that from time to time. Dude, bugs. I'm getting a bugs apple, Josh. Don't worry. Dude, these mosquitoes are driving me crazy. All this rain, I love it, but it sucks at the same time.
We don't have mosquitoes here yet.
Yep. Don't wish that upon yourself. Dude, I'm dark this year already. Yeah, it's been a nice year so far. Me and my office lady were talking about the weather in Oklahoma being weird this year. It's been rather cool, which has kept the severe storms at bay.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I had the heat to build on. So I here before the race, before we go back racing Dana Tech for the round 6, I believe we're going to have some severe weather.
Yeah. Hopefully it holds off for the weekend.
Yeah. I don't honestly. I know it had mud holes in the creek beds the other day whenever I went there, because he had a hand that went out and rode the track to go check, for down trees and stuff like that, and see if the bridges got washed out, from all the heavy rain.
Yeah.
And his Can-Am, he had a Can-Am utility quad that it had mud splashed over it pretty well, and he said that the fields, out in the fields with the flat red mud turn, or the red clay turns, were mud. The motocross track turns had some mud.
Yeah.
And I know the creek bottoms have mud in them.
But it's
Like,
looking like it's going to be, the 70s down there, and the 80s
we got
until
80s coming next week, but we got rain chances coming back the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, into the weekend.
it'll be dry. It'll dry. It was 70s and 80s, a couple of days of 80s, and Friday it says 35% chance
What we need
down there.
So what we need to happen for Danatech is we need it to dry out completely. Okay.
Yeah.
Creek
And
bottoms,
then a little sprinkle.
and everything. And then Friday night when we go to bed, give us a good half-inch of rain.
That's kind of looking like what it's going to be.
That's what needs to happen. Like, it needs to, like, all the water holes need to dry out, and then we need a good half-inch of rain just to put some water in the turns for practice, but it'll tack up for the day.
Yeah, yeah. I can't see Saturday, but it's dry 70s, 80s up until that Friday. It says 35% on mine, and then
Yeah.
we might just get what the doctor prescribed.
Dude, I'm hoping. I'm hoping that'd make it a good one. That's what I'm saying, is I may run the long course on Sunday too, because I'm already going to be there.
I'm ready for that track.
Dude, like that, it's the only reason I'm thinking about doing long course. Like short course, I'm gonna give Daniel a run for his money at his own track. You heard it here first. On his own bike.
Oh man.
Yeah. The Danatech sponsored KTM 300 two-smoker going to come in for the first place. Like, we have an internal race inside of our race class.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's three of us that were like, all right, all them kids can do what they're going to do, but the race is us three. And it's me and Daniel and Chris Johnson. That's our race. Us three. Because he was like, are you any good? I said, no, I suck. And he's like, me too. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, so we're racing each other. And Daniel was like, yeah, you ain't beating me. I was like, but I'm beating him, so you better beat him and me. I was like, because I'm beating him. And I almost got him on the start, but I ran out of talent coming into that first turn.
I've seen a couple people on bikes eat it there in that first turn last race.
Bro, that was a good spot to eat it, too. That dirt was so spot.
I guess not. I'm not thinking of last. I'm thinking of Dude Ranch. My bad.
Yeah, the Dude Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, dude. There was that, because I had to ride that top side of that berm where it was all marbles, and it was a little more solid than I thought it was. I probably could have been a little more on the throttle. I think if I would have been up on my pegs instead on my seat, I'd have probably been doing a little bit better.
And it was a right-hander, so you don't have your rear brake.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. See, I'm still trying to figure out, the whole dirt bike thing. The turns mainly.
Yeah.
I've got a rut forming at my house, so I'm figuring out how to turn in a rut. So I don't know how to do that very well. I get in that rut, and then my front tire wants to pop out, and I get scared, and I fall down.
Yeah, you got to lean into it.
See, and somebody said I just need to dig into that foot peg a little harder and give her a little more throttle, and I should be just fine. I'm like, what?
Wait, the outside peg. Yeah, push down on the outside peg.
Yeah, they said, weight that peg down and give her some more throttle. I was like, what? I'm already scared to give it more gas. So you want me to give it more gas?
Use the G-force to hold it into the berm.
Tim, come on now. Come
How
on.
you do it? When you stick your foot out, don't be sticking your foot out to like catch yourself. You use it for balance is the thing.
See, that's what they keep saying. So I've been doing them there stretches where I'm trying to touch my toes and stuff so I can get that
point your toes so you don't blow out your Achilles.
Listen, homie, I'm scared to blow out my knee.
Yeah. You gotta get knee braces on them dirt bikes. See, and that's where I'm torn. Like on the dirt bikes, I wore knee pads, and they saved hardcore. But I was always scared of ripping an ACL or MCL. So like, if you could find like a knee brace, knee pad combo, I'm sure there is something. But that's key right there.
I probably should get something like that because I have injured one of the CLs.
Yeah,
So,
my MCLs from cross timbers a few years ago. You know how that track is down, this down in there, like it's like a slot, you know.
yeah, no, I've never been there.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, it's
Nope.
like you're driving through like a freaking, it's like a water slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the track is down in there, and so like I ran up on the freaking wall on a spot on accident and popped off the side and ran my own knee over. And for my MCL,
Yeah.
my my knee was so red and purple that night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
picture of it. It was gnarly.
one time I did a similar incident. It was on my birthday. I think I was turning like 27 or something like that. Uh, where my parents lived, they lived on top of kind of like a plateau.
Yeah.
And then there was
Yeah.
a lot of, there was a big canyon behind their house. And then they had a lot of like them. They weren't plateaus. They would just run up. They would almost run up to a plateau, but they would peak kind of like a sand dune. And so we would hill climb them things and just hit the top and, stop your frame right on it, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then whenever you were ready to go, all you had to do was kind of lean forward and it would pull off like a sand dune would.
Yeah.
I was coming up on one of those and was getting turned. I didn't have Nerf bars yet. I just had foot pegs. And I stuck my foot down. And when I did, yep,
Run your foot over.
yep, I was in riding boots.
Man.
But it sucked my whole leg. Like I got yanked all the way off that four-wheeler. It sucked my whole leg up under that machine, dude. My knee was about this big around in like 5 minutes.
I ran my own foot over one time at a Predator 500. Went over like a big root, popped my foot off, and
Yeah.
ran my leg. And like Nerf bars from now on.
Oh yeah. No, never not gonna have Nerf bars. Never not doing it.
Yep.
Yep. So all in all, do you feel like Sugar Creek is a good track?
Yeah, it would have been if it wasn't muddy and a mess, but it
Right.
was. In practice before it started raining. I feel like I was going pretty fast.
Yep.
Clifton Crow was behind me. He thought I was going pretty quick until I stopped and all my tear-offs came off.
Right. Why don't you come
But
down this weekend? You can ride a dry Sugar Creek.
yeah. Let me
Third,
put my
third,
monster tires on so I can get through there.
third chance, bro.
Yeah, right. I had to when they announced that we were changing tracks. This one, I was like, I had to get on there and be a smart ass. But you sure we're not going there again?
That was funny. Very, very much called for.
I had.
Very much called for.
Yeah, it's funny. It's whatever. They wanted to race. Power to them.
Right.
It's cool. It's
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Good for the landowner. Good for him.
Oh yeah, no, he's making a chunk of change on it for
Making
sure.
out like a bandit on some land that is just going to sit most of the year. Maybe have some cows on it. It does pay taxes on it.
Right.
Some good passive income.
Hey man, he's not having to do anything except for move his cows for the weekend.
Yeah.
Had to move his cows for a month this time, but
If he already put him out there anyway, he still may be feeding them. Who knows?
yeah, could be. Yeah. So moving to Dana Tech for round 6, I'm pretty excited for that. That's home track for us. It's only that's a 45-minute drive down the highway.
That ain't bad at all.
Nah, man. We're probably gonna pitch camp and race and do our thing Saturday, and then run home and shower and feed the animals, and then come back Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Might as well. Let's see. I don't remember how far it is for me.
That's probably about 5.5. You can take Highway 81, can't you?
I just type in Rush Springs. It's 4 hours and 50 minutes. It's saying for a
It must
car.
take, yeah, right about 5 hours for you. Because it's
No,
about,
it'll be 5.5. We'll make it 5.5.
yeah.
Five
We
and a half
say it's,
for knowing us.
yeah, that's just 5 minutes south of Rush Springs. Hey, make sure when you make that turn that you got a good clear lane to turn from. You know what I mean? It's got a
Yeah,
turnaround lane in it, but you being in the bus, make sure you got that passing lane that you can use as your turnaround lane. Because it's a 4-lane highway, but I don't know
yeah.
how sharp that bus turns.
Where was the place that we went to that had like an enduro track at it? I don't remember.
Had an enduro track.
Yeah, like they had like containers and log walls and stuff for dirt bikes to go over. It wasn't like part of our race, but they had like a section that was like they marked it off, like you can't. They were like, no one go on it, but I can't remember where that was.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
I don't know if you were there. It was like in 21, I think.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't
It
there
might
then.
have been cross. It might be cross timbers, honestly.
Right. And it might be. It might be Cross Timbers. I don't know. I've never been there.
Gotcha.
Big Fox Run. I don't know. Big Fox Run is one of my favorite places, though.
I liked it the first year I went there. Last time I didn't not like it. The dust sucked
Right.
on that long fire
Dude,
road. That was
that fire road was so much fun, but it was so scary.
it was stupid.
It was so scary, dude.
Oh my God. The first couple, like if you were behind, there's no way you're gonna gain on anyone because
No,
and
you
there's no way. And they had those little pink ribbons in the trees that I was using as. I'm glad they had those because that was the only thing I could go off of to not hit a hay bale.
Oh yeah. Well, and like I was talking to them, they're like, "Look for the pink ribbons. They're right before the turns on that fire road."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Good to
yeah,
know. Good
yeah.
to know."
I noticed that in practice. This is going to be crucial to be able to see, and I couldn't even see him a couple times.
No, not even in practice.
Yeah, it's
Like I
rough.
come skating up on them in practice, and like I slid almost. I got like this close to that first one, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna do this today. There's hay bales on this road."
And that was
See, and
my.
I don't remember if I took off with you or Grant during practice, but I was like, "Oh my God, I can't see nothing."
You were with me at practice because that was my
Yeah,
first Yamaha. That was my first one on the Yamaha.
yeah, that's for sure.
I was getting the dicking with the steering and the shocks and everything on during practice.
Yep.
And then yeah, that was my first race. I didn't change any of the brake fluid or anything, and I lost my brakes halfway trying to hunt down because I had a horrible start and it died
Mm-hmm.
on a it died on a spot, and I had to like mess with the
Yeah.
batteries, switch them around, and so I was trying to catch back up to Matt Mitchell. He was like a turn and like maybe two turns in like a big field section. I was coming for him, and my brake going all the way down those big hills.
Yeah.
My rear brakes went out, and so I like just couldn't push anymore. He got away.
That's that one that had the black hill that just you felt like you were climbing and you were gonna jump up onto something, and then all of a sudden it dropped right back off.
Yeah, and one of them you go up and there's a little bit of air, like if you go up it quick enough,
Yes.
and then you go between some trees. It's like, man, if you're
Yes.
going faster than that, and you can, yeah,
That was
it was fun though.
a
I
fun
liked
one, dude. That
it.
track was so fun.
The only part I didn't like was those fire roads because of the dust. But other than that, I liked it.
Yeah. It was a blast. I agree. The fire road was scary. I enjoyed the fire road, but it was scary. Like I was
Yeah,
terrified every time because I was fifth gear wide open.
big
And I just
pop.
remember every time I come up to one of them hay bales, I just clutch it, keep it wide open. I'd tap the brake and set it sideways, catch a little bit of traction, tap it again. And then as soon as I even caught traction off of that first bump, I wasn't even in the trail yet. I would jump half of the crap that was on the edge of the track to get up onto the fire road again.
Yeah,
Like, there was no point in riding the rail. Like, I used it as a jump, and I would seat bounce over all of the tree stumps and stuff that were right there. But I couldn't make up time on nobody there. And then I ate that tree because I was in second trying to catch Grant on that one. And then I caught that damn tree and lost all of my coolant in my motor. So Kylie and Cody and everybody ended up catching me. I was there for a minute by myself waiting on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I was sitting there for a cool minute before anybody came up on me. And then here they come, and I'm telling them to go, and I'm pointing out ways to get around me. Like, I'm stuck in the middle of the trail. Y'all are going to have to find a way around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a rough time. Like, I had such a fun time at that track. I was going to get second on that one for sure. I was going to get a good podium. But, man, I had that one mishap. I got too close to that tree. I mean, and it spun my bike sideways and flopped it right over, upside down a hill against a tree. I was like, wow, there ain't no way. 45 minutes of racing, I already can't feel my arms. I ain't getting this thing flipped back over.
Which is
I gave
the
her
one
head.
where you went in the pond?
Do what?
Which is the one where you went in the pond?
I didn't go in a pond.
Oh, I thought you went in the pond. You were broke down by the pond.
Yeah, climbing the hill. That was
It was because there was a line that goes up, and then there was the line that went down and around right next to the pond.
that was Macomb. I pulled.
Was
Golly,
it?
I can't ever remember his
I
name.
thought maybe it was. I don't think that was Macomb. It was in trees and stuff.
Yeah, No, was it Sasakwa?
No, they didn't have that. Man, where was it? Because I'm pretty sure someone went in that pond, and then I'm pretty sure that I came up with you broke down right next to it.
Yeah, I had a shitty start on that one. So it was a later in the season race.
Yeah. What?
Where it was the race before Ninica.
Maybe it's the place we're going. The Hallam.
It could have been Hallam.
Hallam. I mean, I think it may have been that one.
Could have been Hallam. I had a shitty jump, and then I can't ever remember his name. Chris. Chris. God bless.
Oh, on the Honda.
Yeah. Boy, he was. Only thing I seen of his quad when I come around that turn was a grab bar and handlebars, and that dude was waist deep in the water trying to pull that damn four wheeler out.
Okay, I think you stopped to help him. I
Yeah.
think is when I passed you.
Oh yeah, dude. I had a shitty start, and I think you were the last person behind me, and I wasn't having a good run at it. Yeah, Collins. Thank you, Cody. But yeah, he sunk his quad in that pond. I don't know how, what happened there, but when I seen that, I was like, dude, I'm having a bad get anyway. I'm gonna help a homie out real quick because that sucks. That's a lot of money sitting there drinking water that don't need to be drinking water.
My first year when I was racing Okra, it was short course at Williams Ranch.
Yeah.
Me and the guy that actually got me into cross country racing, it was me and him.
Yeah.
We went there. He has two ponds, and there was like a little crossing in between them. And we were going, so my gloves are getting wet, and I remember I hit a tree and I fell back a couple spots, got stuck on it, and I was catching back up. This was 4/3. I was coming up behind him, right up the crossing, and there was a slower rider right in front of him, and he went to like dodge him and hit a rock and flipped and just went upside down into the pond underwater. And I go by and I'm like looking back and I don't see him, so I just jump off my quad, rip my kill tether off, and start running to the pond. And he comes up out of the water, woohoo, like the freaking Aquaman or some shit. And I'm like, oh crap! I was gonna jump in to help him, but and then some worker come running down off the hill that scene. Is like, we got it. So I hop back on and win. But man, he pulled it. He was on a fuel injected Yamaha, and he pulled it out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
And it ran after. I don't know how, but
That's a tight air box.
it must have, because that thing was upside down underwater.
Air box. Yeah. Man, I can't wait to have me another Yamaha. I'm so heartbroken watching all y'all leave the line every time.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. Well, brother, you got anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
I got, like I said, a couple riders. I got some GNCC ones that are going to get on here. I got a 4x4 guy lined up for all you utility guys out there.
Nice.
And I'm wanting to get on here with you. I'm going to have you come on the podcast and interview with me. But hopefully we can get on here and ask everyone on the live chat for some questions that you'd like to have asked, and we could if they have some good question suggestions, then we'll ask them on the podcast.
Right. Yeah, when we figure out a date with the first guest, we will get on here. We'll have that show and, kind of talk about who it is, not who it is, but,
we'll say who it is when we ask them for the questions, what questions they would like to ask, and we'll spill the beans on who it is.
Suspense right there, Bubba.
Well,
right on.
I mean,
yeah,
we've got to ask the right person.
Who's your is your 4x4 guest? Is that a GNCC rider as well? That's new to me, y'all.
Yeah.
Right on. That's going to be pretty exciting.
Pretty low number digit.
Nice.
Little hint.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. I like hearing from the pros. I think that's pretty cool. We're going to have to do something at the races where we pull some of these mini riders in and do little interviews with the mini riders on Friday nights and stuff.
For sure, yeah.
Try to put those out on the show and the podcasts and stuff. But so we got some pro riders coming in to talk to us.
Yep.
What else you got going on?
That's about it, man. Trying to get some other podcasts or some more episodes ready. Until they're pretty busy right now, so understandable.
Well, we're in the heat of Supercross. It's fixing to be over with.
Yep.
We're in the final run to the summer push for GNCC. So.
Yep.
It is what it is. We got a couple weeks before things start calming down a little bit.
But yeah, until then, got a couple ideas for episodes until then, so we'll see how that goes.
Right on. Yeah, see what happens, man. It's that time of year. We're all a little busy right now. We all got our own race machines. We have to keep moving. Let me go ahead and show the beater back there. That's a stake pulling champion right there, dude. That little 80.
Yeah.
I had so many stakes on that damn four-wheeler on Sunday. It was unreal. I need to take something with me. I need to figure out a wagon I can pull behind it or something to shove them all in.
There you go.
Yeah, give me a big tub on a dolly cart. And as long as I don't get excited like I do, it shouldn't flip over. But I get excited because that little 80 rips with me on it, so it's fun.
Yeah. We had one, and it was pretty fun until it didn't work anymore because it's a stupid old two-stroke.
Oh, yeah, I love that little two-stroke. Yep. Looking for another one for dirt cheap. I'm going to have me a whole army of 80s. Whole army.
There you go.
Well, heck yeah, brother. Man, y'all hit up Danger X if y'all need T-shirts. He's making T-shirts these days. Y'all
I got some cool ones, some cool designs I made already. The Sasquatch one. Couple of them.
He made this shirt off of this hat because it was hilarious to him, and I thought it was hilarious when he sent this to me.
The turtle.
I ain't never seen such a thing. It was amazing.
It looks like a turtle from far back, so I ran with it.
Right. Josh, we'll see you here in a couple weeks at Danatech, sir. I won't be back until after Danatech to make another episode, unless something cool happens or I'm in the shop kind of BSing around.
Yep. I'm going to try to have one come out for y'all to listen to on the way.
Little teaser, you're going to give us something to listen to for your ear holes on the way to the race. Yep. Danatech's going to be a good one. Y'all prepared for a little bit of sand, a little bit of mud, some creek crossings, going to be some tight woods, a little bit of technical track. There's going to be some jumps out there for those people that ain't scared to send them doubles.
I haven't sent the Yamaha on too big of jumps. I don't have too big of jumps around here. There's some decent ones, but yeah. I'm ready.
Yep. Me too. I'm going to go out there this weekend and go work track. So we'll see what kind of condition the jumps and stuff are in after all that rain.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty rough going down the faces of them.
Yeah, I hear we are doing some tractor work and stuff out there, some skid steer and tractor work. So we'll see what all happens.
Yeah.
Right. Well, man, you, sir, have yourself a wonderful evening. Danger X Podcast, y'all go smash that subscribe button for him. Spotify, YouTube, he's going to be everywhere. We're going to make this thing famous. But yeah, y'all go subscribe. We're trying to get pros on here, let y'all hear what the pros have to say, get some tips and tricks on how to get faster.
Yep,
so,
for sure.
We're all here doing the same thing. We're trying to chase the pros, you know. We're a bunch of amateur riders trying to be the best. Man, Tim, have yourself a wonderful night, sir.
You too.
All right, bub. Have a good evening.
Yep, watch for danger.
Danger X, baby. Watch out. X's are everywhere. Man, what a beautiful night. We're here, central Oklahoma, wind. There is none. There's no rain right now for once. Danger X podcast on here. He's making t-shirts these days. He's fixing to come out with a new podcast episode. Y'all be ready for it. Danatech is in 2 weeks. We got 2 more off weekends, and then we're back to racing. That's pretty exciting. Numb Thumb Addicts t-shirts, $25 a piece. If y'all want one, holler at me. I probably got your size. You're looking for t-shirts being designed and getting them printed. Danger X is the one to holler at. Tim Langer will get you hooked up. But man, I'm excited. I'm ready to go racing again. Ready to see everybody. The long breaks are definitely welcomed, but I would definitely like to get back on the line somewhere. I feel like a little girl because I didn't race the last one, but man, these old ribs still hurt. So we'll be all right. We'll make the next one. Ready to have a quad so I can join the homies back on the quad line. That's my favorite place to be. It's home. I'm faster on a quad. I like doing the sketchier stuff on 4 wheels. But man, it's been an evening. Been having a good chit chat with Tim about everything that's been going on so far. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here and see what Mama's up to and get these kids ready for bed. Y'all have a beautiful night. God bless. Love y'all. We'll see y'all on the